Hello and welcome to another episode of Radio Royale.
I'm Sip.
And I'm Bangs. And today we'd like to talk to you about a cool new feature.
Cool.
Oh,
Very exciting feature.
It's so good that it's broken the development team.
Yeah.
Like, we have spent so much time playing this game.
Mentally,
So much time.
physically,
In
everything.
every way.
Yeah.
It's something we've been working on for the past couple of months. It's something huge. And I think it's safe to say that it's the most outrageous game mode we've ever done.
So let's talk about how it began. Let me paint you a scene, all right? It's Friday night. The Finnish winter. Snow is falling. It's
Lunta.
It's negative 20 outside. Everyone's freezing. But where are we going? We're rushing to the warmth of a pub where all our great ideas happen. So we're at the pub. We're sitting around the table, squeezed in by other people, and we sort of have a conversation going like we usually do, right? We're sitting there and we're talking, and we're all playing the game by ourselves, just challenging each other. And we're thinking, how can we make this better? One idea is, Bangs, instead of fighting against you, what if I fight with you?
Whoa.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
Mic drop. Rewind.
Rewind, we're here from the future. A little disclaimer for this episode. Bangs, tell them what it is.
We're actually post-editing this after we've recorded the podcast.
From the future.
We are from the future. So during the development process, we sometimes change the name of features and change the name of cards.
Change our mind.
Change our mind, yeah. We do it all the time. Improve over time. So the name of this game mode has changed, and we previously called it perhaps Team Battle and 2v2, but the newest version is called Clan Battle.
Clan Battle.
Clan Battle. So just keep that in mind throughout the rest of the episode. Okay, continue.
Mic drop. And that is how we came up with our new feature, 2v2.
And Team Battle.
And what's better than, playing by yourself is with someone else, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do I start a team battle?
It starts very similar to a friendly battle.
Okay.
So in the clan page, you've got a button,
Right.
where the clan chest would normally be
At the top?
at the top, and hitting that will post a message into the clan chat, which another player from your clan can accept.
Okay, so I'll see the text and I just hit accept and we're both in the battle.
Exactly.
And it randomly matches us against
With another clan.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so now we're in the stadium, the arena. Mm-hmm. Where am I? Where is he? What's going on?
So it works very similar to a 1 versus 1 battle. You've got your own decks, you've got your own elixir bar, you can place units anywhere on your side of the field. But the main difference is that you've got a shared king tower.
Okay. So it's two towers connected with each other,
Yes.
sharing the same health bar.
Yes.
Okay. So it should feel quite familiar to players who've been playing the game the whole time.
Yeah,
It should
absolutely.
feel quite natural to pick up.
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to keep it intuitive, and this felt like the best format. We tried a load of different things.
I imagine it's quite difficult to communicate with the other partner. So how do we, sort of overcome that?
So one of the challenges we've had when developing this mode is information overload. There's a lot more going on the screen, especially because you've got 4 players, so you've got effectively double the units.
Yeah,
on the,
it could
on the
get
field. So
chaotic. Yeah.
chaos is what it's all about in this mode. One of the challenges has been with the UI and the HUD that we showed, because you want to
All the buttons.
all the
and
buttons.
stuff.
Yeah, because you want to see what obviously your cards and your elixir bar and what you're trying to place down, but there's also the temptation to also know what your partner's doing.
Exactly. You want to kind of coordinate attacks and like what does he have in his deck? And,
Yeah, and whilst during development we've played a lot in the same location, so your partner and you can chat to them, we want to also facilitate when you're not next to the person, when you can't communicate in the real world, and you need to communicate through the game.
Right. I remember the first iteration of the game, of this mode, was we had all the cards at the bottom. So instead of 8 cards, it was 16 cards squished together, and it was just like, oh, you have that deck and I have that deck, and you ended up looking at the bottom of the screen the whole time, saying like, what cards does he have? So we sort of eliminated that to get rid of that distraction first off,
Yeah.
and just focus on your game, but also we still wanted to be able to communicate with the other player and show off his deck. So what we've done is at the beginning of the game, it sort of flashes your partner's deck So you can see just for a brief moment, oh, this is what he has. I think we can coordinate this attack.
Yeah, and another feature that we put in during its development was the ability to highlight what you're going to do to your partner.
Right, how do we do that?
Just like when you sort of drag a card onto the field and you can kind of see this ghost outline.
Outline of the card.
Outline of the card that
Right.
you're going to place. That also gets communicated to your partner. In a slightly different widget. We tried playing around with different ways of communicating this, and we preferred the actual showing the card that you're going to place rather than the ghosted unit.
Ah, right. So if my partner drags out a unit and sort of holds it over the space he's going to deploy it in,
It will show you
it'll
exactly
show
what
the
he's
card,
doing, yeah.
and I can say, oh, he's about to drop a golem.
Yeah.
I should place something behind that, and then support that, and we can.
And you get to see it in real time as well. So if you sort of quickly change your mind and start dragging it to the other side of the field, you'll see.
Oh yeah, you'll
that
see
straight
like,
away.
oh no, he's going left
yeah.
instead of right. No,
It's actually a really fascinating way to talk to each other.
yeah. So I have a question, Bangs.
Yeah.
If I deploy an elixir pump, do we share that, or what goes on? Like if I'm doing rage, what's happening?
With the elixir pump example, it just gives it to the player that deployed it, because otherwise it would be giving far too much value. Like you'd spend 6 and you get back loads, right? So,
Oh yeah, we'd have only elixir pump deck.
yeah, it would be really pump heavy. So buff spells was another thing that we experimented with. Things like rage and things like clone. Like should it just affect one player or the whole team? But we felt it made intuitive sense to do the whole team. Just like a fireball would affect both players, the opposing players.
Right, okay. So pump is only me, but the spells are both of us.
Global, yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so fireball would, as you would expect, like target both enemies.
Okay. And if it hits both king towers?
This was actually an interesting bug. So we had, at one point, we've been experimenting with, do we have 2 king towers? Do we have 1 king tower? And we quite early on settled on a single king tower.
Right. But visually it looks like 2, but
looks
it's
like
actually 1 health bar.
Yeah, and the way it's kind of been hacked into the game
Whoa.
meant that actually it's kind of treated as 2 king towers, at least initially. And
Yeah.
you could fireball the 1 king tower and it would do double damage.
Whoa, Value Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I should just go in with my all spell deck.
We fixed that.
Okay. Oh, no.
We also actually, that was one of our concerns, that with double the amount of firepower, that you could actually just start doing like rocket siege decks and things like that. So we actually
right.
fine-tuned that shared tower's health. It's actually got quite a considerable more amount of health than a 1 versus 1.
And we ended up slowing it down a bit because it was getting too fast in the elixir.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, we tried it at normal speed and it just gets so hectic, you know? You've got twice as much elixir being generated per side of the battle.
Right, so just imagine double the units all the
Yeah.
time.
And you've got an elixir cap of 20, effectively, for one side.
Yeah.
So we experimented with this a lot during our playtests. We wanted it, like, the lower it goes, the slower pace the game gets.
Right, there's a degree where it becomes boring.
Yeah, exactly. So we found at the moment the balance is at 85%. So it's almost as much as
85% of the original.
of the original.
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And in overtime?
And in overtime, we've actually reduced that to 70% of the overtime.
Oh, okay.
So you get the normal elixir, you double it, and then you take 70% of that.
Oh, okay. Math.
Every day's a school day.
Bangs.
Yo.
Hit me with that technical mumbo jumbo about problems we had.
So in the whole history of Clash Royale, from its very first conception, it's always been a 1 versus 1 game.
Yeah?
So we've got that assumption built into our code base, essentially.
Yeah.
So when you kind of take that assumption away or try and break that assumption, you generally break the game in interesting ways.
Right.
So, it's been quite a complicated refactor of the game to get it to support, like, effectively N players.
N players?
N players.
What is N players?
You could say it just previously supported 2 players, but now it supports any arbitrary amount.
So 10v10 mode? Coming soon?
I think we'll have to test it. But yeah, maybe in the future.
Yeah.
If it
we're gonna
works.
need iPads the size of TVs.
It's going to be a PC game.
Yeah. I could just imagine people walking. You know how people use iPads as phones? Yeah. Just imagine a TV now as a phone.
Are we designing Clash Royale, the MMO?
Yeah.
So Sip, have we had to make any changes to the arena to support this new mode?
First change was obviously the king towers. Well, we tried sticking 2 of them just right next to each other, and it looked quite odd because there was this gap in the middle of them.
Yeah.
So one of our guys actually built a connecting piece, and then on that connecting piece we have a shield, which your icon of the clan shows up there.
That's cool. Nice.
So you can see, represent our clan versus the other clan. And then we've also added a buffer zone sort of on the ends of the backside of the arena. So right where your king towers are, the tiles behind that one, we noticed that if you deploy troops behind it, it's very limited space when you put 2 king towers there.
Yeah.
So I actually ended up having to extend the arena a bit.
Oh, that's cool. Was it just going through, the units going through the king tower, or is it just really...
They looked like they were going out of bounds.
Okay.
So now we've extended it 2 tiles each way, so it's a total of 4 in the back row that we've extended, and so now it looks more correct. So you actually have more space on the field. Fun fact.
Nice. That's cool. In the future, I'd love to see there to be actually like this clan versus clan arena.
Oh, yeah.
That would be so cool.
Definitely. I mean, this is just version 1.
Yeah.
Who knows where it can go from here. So Bangs, talk to me about the early days of 2v2. What was going on?
Well, the earliest day of 2v2 was perhaps just at the end of the last update. So sometime in December.
Right, when everything sort of... We got the big update out, and now we're like, all right, take a breather. What are we going to do this time?
Yeah, we got it out. We fixed the bugs of Executioner. And
Sorry about that.
Then what do we do next? So generally, that's what happens in our development process, that after a big release, we'll do a bit of prototyping and sort of try out different things that could go into the next build.
Yeah, it's the perfect time to just, kind of...
Game jam,
yeah. Trying things, seeing what sticks, basically.
Yeah, so... Thomas, one of our ninja coders, just jumped on this and just wanted to implement it as quick as possible.
Yeah, that guy is a ninja.
He is a ninja. I think he got the first prototype of this in like 3 days.
Crazy.
It's amazing. So when you're trying to prototype, we don't know at the beginning if it's going to work or not.
Yeah.
So you want to try out really cheaply to see if it does work or not. Mm-hmm. So the first version that we had was on a single iPad. Like 2 players play on one iPad.
Yeah.
So we used an iPad Pro.
So instead of I'm playing on my phone, you're playing on your phone, we're both playing on one iPad.
Device, yeah.
Right next to each other, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah. And this is properly hacked into the code base.
Yeah.
Like this, we threw it away. but we got to try it out really, really cheaply. And from there, we just had so much fun.
Do you think we'll ever bring that back, the 2 people on one iPad?
If there's a call for it, it's...
Yeah, I would love to see it in sort of unique tournaments or something like that, where we could get people to, both get on there and, fight another team.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really difficult when sort of thinking about what features we should put into the game, because it sounds like a great idea, but like there's also like a limited amount of things that we can put into the game for an update. We want to try things out, work out what's the best thing to do, and just getting that into your hands and playing it is cool.
So I understand team battles are fun, but I got cards to upgrade, Bangs. Show me the money. What do I win out of this?
So initially it was working very similar to Friendly Battle. You didn't win anything. It was just for the lols.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. We wanted to add some kind of progression, and we felt that maybe something that you can work with your clan towards, and we felt the clan chest was a really natural fit for this.
Okay, so how does that work?
So currently in the game, we have a clan chest every week, and it runs Monday to Wednesday. So we're
every week?
Every week, and it feels a bit like a grind, and also it's not great doing it on a weekday, and we've sort of accepted that. And so we've listened to the feedback from the community, and we're actually going to make it weekends again.
Okay.
So it's going to run Friday till Monday, I believe. Yep.
So we've moved the clan chest to the weekend. What's happening with the team clan chests?
So we'll have the team clan chest every other weekend. So one weekend it'll be the clan chest, and the following weekend it'll be the team clan chest. And then it will roll back to the clan chest the following weekend.
And the following weekend?
That would be a team clan chest.
And then after that one?
Let me think. I think that would be a clan chest.
And before that one?
Oh, that would be... Oh, that's hard. Wait one sec. The team clan chest.
Oh, okay, got it.
Cool. So we've been getting really excited with the what is the first version of Team Battle. But what's the future?
The future is unknown. It's endless. it's a mystery. It's
anything.
It's everything and nothing at all. But no, actually, what we want to do with it, I think, is develop more into sort of the social aspect, this clan wars. I would love to see team tournaments and, see it on stage at esports events. But really, we just want to get it out there, see what the community thinks. If you guys give us questions, feedback, we take that into consideration and improve the features from there.
And one of the ideas that I've been getting quite excited about is like clan wars, and we've talked about clan wars for like
we've talked about it for
since
probably since the inception of the game.
Yeah, and trying to work out how that fits with Clash Royale.
Right, we don't want to just adapt it from Clash of Clans. We want to make it our own unique thing, and really make sure it fits and it suits the game. And
2v2 really feels like there could be something in that.
Right. It's our first sort of glint at this. Okay, Bangs, we have some questions from the community.
Awesome.
So let's go through them here. First question from Josh Wilhelm. The Clash Royale team should add a developer madness game mode where you can make a deck with any card in the game, but with cards that are being tested. For example, a new card that you can use every couple weeks.
I actually really love this idea.
Not really a question, but yes.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. I like it. And I think it's a really strong concept because especially if it's a card that we're not sure if it's going to... Sometimes we try ideas for cards, and you heard in the last episode that we try mad ideas and we're worried about launching them because they might break the game.
Yeah.
And this is a really good way of us finding out.
That's what I love about challenges, is we can put crazy ideas in them and they don't really, ruin the main game.
Yeah, because they go in... and they might ruin the game for a weekend and they come out again.
Yeah, it's we might ruin the game for a weekend, but I think we can take that.
Yeah. So this is a way of us just experimenting and almost prototyping. And maybe we try out a card idea in there that we think's a bit risky, but it works. If it works, then we can then roll it into the main ladder.
Yeah. I also love the name Developer Madness.
Yeah.
Like it's some sort of sickness that we have. Our next question is from OMG Gets Da Dude Ooh. Ooh.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Yeah, it's OMG gets the ooh, ooh, ooh.
How do you spell that?
OMG gets the ooh, ooh, ooh. If they added 2v2 PvP, it would surprise everyone by the and make it perfect update no one would expect. Well, OMG gets the do ooh, ooh. You're going to have the biggest OMG of your life with this update.
Boom.
Question from Killed Phantom, appropriate name. How come they didn't talk about the Ghost? It looked like an interesting troop, but I didn't heard it. Or maybe it was cut off. IDK.
Tim's pointing at me to not, under any circumstances, answer this question.
But in all seriousness, we actually just forgot. We forgot about to talk about the Ghost. So basically, here's a brief overview of what it was. The Ghost was a troop, maybe like medium tankiness, I don't know, it didn't really matter. But its abilities was it could turn invisible and therefore not be detected by any troop. So you could basically it would run up to the nearest troop, reveal itself, go boo, and basically stun the enemy. And then from there, it could start attacking and start being attacked.
So we killed that card specifically because it was quite complicated. It's quite difficult to understand and read. It was very different mechanically, and it didn't really allow for much interesting gameplay behaviors. But we did actually sort of take that kind of difference in sort of movement mechanic and apply that to another card that's coming in the next update.
Oh yeah, we did.
I'm not sure we can talk about it. Tim's like, no, don't talk about it. So Warren D writes, on one of the next podcasts, can you explain cards that originally came from fans? Can you also talk about how you changed it from the original idea and how you plan to shake up the game with it?
That's really interesting because I think people don't realize how many cards we've actually tried. And
hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds actually. And we get inspiration all the time from reading community posts and YouTube comments and things like that.
Almost the whole development team reads like Reddit and forums and any fans, like any...
Right, so it's difficult to say if inspiration from any one card has come from a specific community member, but we had tried cards that I see all the time in forums, like such as the Ice Spirit hut, or the freezer, or the cooler, or whatever it was going to be. I think we've tried every version of a hut, like Golem hut, the Elite Barbarian hut, like
A hut that spawns huts.
yeah, a hut, yeah, hut in a hut, yeah,
Sparky hut. I love the Sparky hut.
Sparky hut, yeah.
We're so going to try that one.
Yeah, definitely. Challenge mode. Our next comment is from Squilliam24. My idea for the next episode for Radio Royale would be to talk about how you do balance changes. You could talk about how you decide which cards to change, how much playtesting you do, and why is there 1 month between balance changes, etc.
So this is a really good suggestion, and we are totally going to do this. I've been speaking to Stefu. He's recently given a GDC talk on game balancing Clash Royale, and he is totally up for doing this with us. So we'll definitely do an interview in the future with him. This is a good question for you, Sip. Demon Devil Skull.
Whoa, hardcore.
This is a good question. Any arenas that were scrapped?
I don't think any arenas have been scrapped so much as changed. It like sort of evolved into what it is now. For example, the newest arena that's coming out, I've changed maybe 4 times. But
This is the new legendary.
It was never scrapped. It sort of just made an evolved, journey to what it is now. Sort of maturing. It had some awkward teenage years, but now it's where it's at.
And that's cool. It's the same with cards as well. And any feature in the game, we don't get it right first time, but we get something in, and then we evolve it and improve it. It's
Yeah,
the process
exactly.
of making it better and better and better, and then you see the final thing. Slothworks asks,
Difficult name.
yeah, it's there.
Tongue twister.
I'd also love to hear from the art team about the philosophy of visual design, readability of units, stuff like that.
Well, Slothworks, let me tell you. Basically, a lot of our philosophy comes around readability in the game. You know, we have so many units on the screen at one time potentially that each of them need to stand out so you can recognize what they are, and their design should read into their functionality. You should be able to look at a card and saying, oh yeah, that's obvious that that card would do that. And there's a lot more we could get into. And I
This
think
is an hour-long conversation.
this is just the tip of the iceberg. So I think it might be better in maybe another episode.
Maybe an episode dedicated to it. I think
Right.
that'd be cool, especially if we can get some of the art guys.
Exactly.
talking. Yeah. Including yourself, obviously.
Yeah. Edrew V writes, if you guys playtest all the cards, how did the Executioner get by with its multitude of obvious bugs? Bangs.
There's really no way of sugarcoating it. We messed up with that card.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's really tough to sort of get the balance right. I think we put in loads of features and we try and get updates released as quickly as possible. But putting in those 4 cards that we put in the last update, and maybe this one changed quite a lot near the end, and things slipped through, and we didn't give it the playtesting that it really deserved and needed. And we've taken steps now to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Right, and what we've actually done is we've slowed sort of the development process of these cards so that players can get used to the new cards that are coming out, but also gives us more time to really polish the card and make sure it's really good part of the deck.
Yeah, we feel like the game doesn't need a new card every 2 weeks, and we are looking to slow it down a little bit. Not by much. Maybe it's 3 weeks, maybe it's
Right.
4 weeks between card releases. But we want to make sure that when we do release a card, it's going to have a big impact,
Yeah.
and it's going to be awesome, and people are going to love it.
Exactly.
So, Mustard Lord of Death.
Wait, what?
What?
Mustard Lord of Death.
Mustard Lord of Death?
Best name. I think that's name of the podcast.
New name. I think you've won the internet for today.
But he and many others have come up with ideas of how to make the cards work that we were talking about, the cards,
cards we killed, right,
in the last
okay.
episode. And I think this is really, really cool and really, really powerful. And actually, there's some really good suggestions out there, and I think we're going to revisit some of these cards.
Definitely. I would love to see these cards actually come back in, some way or another, even via challenges or, boss battles or something like that.
So it's been really great hearing from the community and having all these questions. And I'd
So
love to
many
see
comments. We'd love to
so
see
many
them.
comments, yeah, and it's great. And it's really good to I really love being on a team where we can get that connection to our player base and be able to respond in this way.
Yeah.
And we'd love to have more questions. So
Yeah, if you guys have questions, write in.
fire them at us.
Go on the forums and Reddit. We didn't forget about you.
I'd also like to make a big shout out to Thomas and Chi, who whilst we're talking about this 2v2 team battle feature, like those guys have done some seriously good work
seriously heavy lifting.
They've been the masterminds of this mode. So big shout out to those guys.
Yeah, or blame them if it turns out horribly.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us today for another episode of Radio Royale. Subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the 2v2 arena.
Arena.
We got to come up with the right name.